Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Together We Can Help. Today, I'm sitting down with my good friend Dhaval. He's a chef based out of San Diego. Uh, I wanted to give him the time to talk about himself rather than me because no one can say it better than him. Dhaval, how did you get to the position you're in today?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. First of all, really appreciate it. So I'm a self-made chef. I started about 5 years ago, right out of Dallas. I joined the Marine Corps out of high school, and after 8 years, I got out, and I realized that I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. And people kept pushing me to get into the food industry, even though I didn't have any culinary background or training. I figured, let me just see what happens and give it a shot. So I got lucky, and Wolfgang Puck picked me up in Dallas, and I was working there as a sous chef for a little bit. And from there, I got the opportunity to work at a few more restaurants in the Dallas Plano area. And the last position I was at before I came to San Diego was executive sous chef of Tommy Bahama. And I came out here with a good position lined up, and turned into even better position. But just a few months into it, things kind of went down for the restaurant because of financial problems, and I was forced with the decision of either finding another job or starting something of my own, which is what I've always wanted to do. So I figured, you know what, let me go and start my own business, and that's how Ethnic Kitchen was born.
So, can you break down exactly what Ethnic Kitchen does for the people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ethnic Kitchen is a multi-cuisine based catering company here in San Diego. We don't have a physical location, but we do work out of our kitchen in San Marcos, and we do caterings anywhere from LA down to the San Diego area. And it's various cuisines, all different types of ethnicities, which is why we decided to go with Ethnic Kitchen. We didn't want to limit ourselves to just one type of cuisine, and I think that's what kind of separates us from different catering companies that I've saw out here is we didn't have a set menu. We want to customize it with our clients.
Okay. So, how I know this COVID-19 situation has affected businesses all over the world. How has it specifically affected you?
So for us, unfortunately, since we did start as a bulk catering company, most of the events that we had lined up were a lot of parties, weddings, stuff like that, which obviously required people to be closer together than this whole social distancing thing. So a lot of these events that we had all got canceled, and for us to try to transition the business model that we had to what people are doing now for takeout and delivery kind of has been an issue, especially as sole owner of the company, not having a lot of help right now has been another struggle as far as having the hands to get in the kitchen and push out food even if we did have a certain number of orders. So right now we're just dealing with issues on multiple levels, staffing, finance, and marketing as well, getting our name out there since we're brand new. So a lot of people don't know about us, and I guess they maybe not might not feel comfortable, trying out foods that they're not accustomed to. So I think that's the biggest struggle right now.
Okay, so I know it's affected your business, but the problem that we're facing as Americans, as humans in general, is that not only is this virus affecting our businesses, our health, well-being, but it's also affecting the ability for example, people to put food on the table, for people to pay their rent and everything. So, are is this virus really affecting the way you're able to live your daily life, like being able to pay the bills, pay the bills for not just the company but your apartment, your food, being able to feed your family, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this is my main source of income. And like I said, now with not being able to get that customer acquisition right away and get that business coming in, I've had to go and try to look for jobs. And right now, unfortunately, with the way things are, most people aren't hiring, especially not new people. Most of the places that I've talked to are just kind of getting their old cooks and chefs back into the kitchen. So it's been exponentially harder for me to even pick up a side job to be able to pay the bills. And luckily for us, our apartment is working with us and giving us the option to make payment plans and stuff like that. So it's assisting us a little bit, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm still going to have to catch up eventually and pay those bills off. So that's the biggest struggle right now is not knowing what's going to happen with COVID and if my business is going to pick up and if I'm going to even have money to be able to afford staying in business because like you said, there's other fees associated with the business, whether it be commissary fees or having to pay for certain permits and whatever it may be. So
Mhm.
that's also another issue that we're facing right now.
So, specifically in the San Diego area, what laws and regulations have they placed on you? Have they given you guys a timeline when restaurants and small businesses will be able to open up again?
So San Diego, so far, they haven't really regulated anything as far as opening back up. Um, and for the time being, I'm not sure how long the dine and takeout stuff is supposed to last. So that's a big concern for me, especially because I have very limited time left on my apartment lease. And, if we go month to month, it kind of becomes even more stressful because the pay goes up. I mean, sorry, the rent cost goes up exponentially if you are going to rent month to month versus on a yearly lease. And the reason that we're not locking ourselves down in another annual lease to stick with the same payment amount is because I don't know if I'm going to be having income coming in to be able to stay out here for another year. So I think that's really affecting the decision process right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really interesting story. So, for example, I'm based out of Houston, Texas, and luckily our governor has given us really good guidelines for when we're going to come back into business, when things are happening. And in Dallas County, I think it was last week, there was a lady who she opened up her salon for people. I don't know if you read this
Right?
online.
Yes, I read that.
Yeah, she opened up her salon, and the officers arrested her, and they took her to court, and they said, if you don't publicly apologize for opening up your business, you're going to serve 7 days in jail. And she responded, she says, I'm not going to apologize because I have to feed my family. I have employees who have to feed their
Absolutely.
family. And it's sickening to see that they're going to make her apologize for wanting to feed her family.
Absolutely.
So, like, I know you have to pay your bills, but do you have any employees underneath you that are having the same problems that you have to pay them to? Uh,
So luckily, as just starting business recently, and not having many employees, I don't have any employees that rely on me. So I'm thankful that I'm not holding anybody up as far as that regard. But um, I still feel for the individuals in the industry because I have a lot of friends and I see some of these guys regularly, and to see them not have any idea on what they're going to do, it's really it's kind of upsetting because at least I have a business, and if it doesn't work out here, God willing, maybe I can pick up and go somewhere else where it's a little less expensive, and make that move and potentially get more customers. But for those that don't have the capital or the knowledge to be able to do something like this and be their own boss, I think it's even scarier for them. So I do feel for those people, but fortunately, I don't have anybody that's relying on me.
mhm. So you told me earlier that you did apply for the payroll protection program, and do you mind sharing the exact amount that was given to your
Yeah,
company?
absolutely. So I applied for the payroll protection program, and I was only qualified for $1,000, which $1,000 is a lot of money. So I'm not going to be ungrateful. But like you said earlier, all these big corporations getting millions and millions of dollars, and these small businesses that are really helping the communities and really growing the economy are the ones that are kind of getting left in the dust here with these small trivial amounts of money.
So you know something crazy? I think it was a couple weeks ago. I saw this on LinkedIn that the Los Angeles Lakers were given $10 million as the small business loan, and they gave it back because, oh, we want to seem good in the community. But what doesn't make sense to me is, why are you applying for that in the first place?
Exactly.
When you have a multi-billion-dollar technically entity in your the owner is a billionaire. Your highest paid player, LeBron James, makes $250 million. I understand you have to pay your employees, but why did you have to take that thing? Harvard University, a $40.8 billion entity, got the paychecks, the payroll protection program. This is all money that should not have been given to them. It should be given to businesses like you, businesses like that salon owner in Dallas. This is what's so frustrating about what's happening in the law, not just the lawmaking, but also these giant corporations who are
Absolutely.
taking advantage of the people who are working their butt off every single day. Let me give you an example. When for you, you have to be able to go out and go into the world and make your money and make your bread and be able to interact with people. And when people say that, oh, you shouldn't, you have to wait and everything like that, uh, those people, they can work from home. But there's a lot of people like the salon owner, like the gym owners, like the restaurant owners, people like you who have to be able to go out to make their life's earning. And
Right.
it's sad to see that there's not steps placed ahead of us to see us go back to to have the ability to feed our families, to feed the people that we love, to even feed ourselves.
Right.
So um, let's talk about some marketing techniques that you've used so far in this COVID-19 situation. So what have you done?
So we're on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a website. So I've been promoting on all our platforms that we're doing different types of menus, and we're trying to get people to place orders. And recently, I spoke with somebody tried to collaborate with them. They've had an Indian restaurant here in San Diego for over 30 years, and they do purely vegan and vegetarian. And since I do um, a lot of non-veg, they wanted to pair with me and kind of get on board with that because they realize that it might just be like this for the next, however many months or maybe even longer. So they wanted to get together and say, hey, let's strategize and kind of put our names out there together, saying, you know, I'm going to offer vegetarian, you can offer non-veg, and we can kind of collaborate and do things together. So I've been trying to do things like that, trying to do, like I said, shorter menus since we customize our menus with all our clients. We don't have any menus out there physically for people to see. We've been creating small little short menus with 3 to 4 items that people can look at and potentially say, hey, I want to order these items for pickup. And so we've been trying to kind of do that, but unfortunately, again, it goes back to, I think right now, money is the biggest issue for a lot of people. Um, and because of that, I think comfort comes with it. So whatever money people do have to use on food outside of what they're making at home, I think that they're going to be sticking with comfort food and what they know. So for my business, it's exponentially harder because saying that, hey, we do any kind of cuisine that you want doesn't really give me any kind of platform to stand on right now, since my customers are pretty much anybody and everybody. So I can't ask each individual person what they'd like to see me create. So right now, having to pick and choose what menu I want to do and what items I want to offer and put out and see if I'll get a hit is the biggest issue for me, as I just don't know what people want. I don't know what out there right now in the market, what people are looking for. So I think for me, trying to figure out what comfort food means for people with what I do is the biggest struggle.
So um, I have a little bit of an idea. I know a business I was talking to earlier this week. They started doing, they're a gym, and so one of the trainers, to bring in another form of income, started cooking the meal prep for some of the people that he trains.
Fine. Okay.
So like you can do this thing where you're posting on your Facebook account. You say, hey, I'm cooking these things this week for a meal prep. This is exactly what's in it. Label out the macros and everything, because people who are in the fitness industry love to see their macros.
Absolutely.
They love to see everything calculated. And you say, I can cook personalized meal prep for you. Uh, if you would like it, let me know. And then that brings in another form of income, that you're kind of becoming that personal meal prep chef for them, that you're cooking their personalized meals so they don't have to worry about paying for the comfort food. And they're also eating healthier food at the end of the day.
Absolutely. That's actually another avenue that I wanted to approach is the private and personal chef, um, because I've done that previously, and I think that's very successful business model, especially if you have some great clients. So I think right now, um, trying to figure out how to advertise to those certain clients, people that are actually looking to have a private chef, personal chef, maybe come in, make a certain amount of meals, and leave them in their refrigerator for the week or something like that. I've also been thinking about doing something along those lines. So this coming week, I am going to be marketing like a set amount of meals for the week and give
Mhm.
people a certain date and time that they have to order by, and that way I know how many numbers I have and they can pick up by a certain day.
Okay, and then another idea was so as you know, there's so many different forms of social media. There's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and whenever you sign up for all these forms, you don't have to pay to sign up. You don't have to pay to post.
Right.
It's all these few things. So the more content you have online is the more it gives you the more of ability for people to click and see more of the things that you're doing. And
Gotcha.
so, for example, very famous Indian chef. I think his name is either Sandeep or Sanjay. Huge. You see him on ZTV all the time. You know,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
cooking
talking
show.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So he has so many restaurants across the world, but majority of his income comes from these TV shows where he's out there cooking the meals and showing you how to cook the meals.
Okay.
So if you go in and you film yourself cooking these meals and showing how easy it can be for you to cook it and teaching them people to do it at home, it kind of creates a more want for them to understand what you're doing, and they see how you're making everything and they understand like, okay, I see how he's doing it. Maybe if it doesn't work out for me, I can order from him too if I don't have time to cook it. But then
Right.
it also works in that way where you're getting your name out there, you're getting your ideas out there, you're getting your vision out there.
Right. So I'm glad you brought that up because actually because of that and because of COVID, I actually started a YouTube page for Ethnic Kitchen as well to kind of do what you're saying, the at-home videos to show people how to make things. So I'm currently just waiting on a little bit more professional equipment so I can kind of get better quality videos up there for people to look at, and I'm doing my best as far as budgeting on even that, trying to get a little bit of lighting or some camera equipment
Yeah.
to somewhat of a professional looking video, and I'm hoping that at least I'll get some traction there. Maybe I'll get some more followers and
Yeah.
maybe help
Also, but so to my understanding, you've already started some of these videos.
correct.
Even okay, good. Because I didn't want you to wait until you had all the equipment. It's good to start because
Actually, I started from my camera and just kind of
yeah, because the phone camera itself is one of the most powerful things out there.
exactly. So I've been doing that, and I'm gonna try to get more videos and everything posted once I kind of have a little bit more understanding on what people might want to see, especially right now. So maybe if I did some more videos and stuff on comfort food, then maybe people might be like, hey, that's something that I want to try or check out. So just kind of doing a little bit more research and trying to figure out what the best course of action is from here.
Yeah. So I understand that funding is an issue right now, and you need to be able to have a source of income to continue your business, even if it doesn't continue in San Diego and it does continue somewhere else in the world. You still want to be able to have Ethnic Kitchen, because Ethnic Kitchen is the way you set it up, which I think is amazing. Is it's not a physical location, it's an idea, it's a thought process. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, it can come to you because it's not a physical location, which is amazing. It can be evolved in any way. So have you thought about crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is a really interesting thing where you're gonna you basically set up your page and you say, hey, okay, I'm gonna sell this this much percentage of my company for this much online, and multiple people, anyone can come in and buy these smaller percentages,
Okay.
and it kind of gives you a cash flow, and it gives people incentive to want to use your business, because once they become owners of your business, well,
Right.
small percentage owners, obviously
Of course. Yeah.
you're the main owner, but small percentage owners, you don't want to see your own business fail at the end of the day, so
Absolutely.
they don't want to see their own business fail. A professor on an earlier episode gave an example, like if you had a pen, why would you, if you owned a pen company, why would you use any other pen than your own pen company?
Right.
So if I was the owner of Ford, I wouldn't drive a BMW, I'd drive a Ford. I
Right.
mean, it's my car.
Absolutely.
So I think it can be a very interesting option. I'm in talks with him right now to help you get set up. If you're interested in doing that, we'll speak about it
Absolutely.
privately, obviously. And I think that'd be really good for you to gain a source of income and kind of keep your business going still.
I think that'd be a great idea, man. I really appreciate it. That all is new to me. Like I said, I just started up the business, and I had a couple people that initially said that if you need money, if you need investors, uh, let us know. But I kind of wanted to do this on my own, and we were picking up traction. I know it's a short time to have been in business, but every gig that we did, we profited. Even if it was by a few dollars, we profited every event. So to me, so far, it's been a success. But now just hitting this roadblock, and trying to figure out how to keep it going. I don't want to go back and have to ask people for money because, like you said, everybody's in the same situation. So I'm not going to go back and be like, hey, remember the time you told me if I needed help? I don't want to be that person. So this avenue of approach, is definitely something that I would definitely be interested in taking a look at because it's not something I've
Yeah.
dealt into before.
But also, a lot of business owners need to understand that don't be ashamed to go back and ask them for the money. Because everyone's going to be very empathetic at this moment. They're going to understand because
Right.
you say yourself, they're going through the same exact thing. They know exactly what you're going through. So the crowdfunding is interesting too, because it's not just a giant chunk of money coming in. It's a bunch of people coming in and taking smaller parts. And then there's a really good quote from I read Tillman Fertitta's book, and he gives a really good quote. He says, don't shut your business until the bank comes in and tries to lock up your doors itself. Like, don't give up. The base of the meaning is don't give up.
Gotcha.
Like, even though times are going to get tough, unless you can't even get into your building anymore, you can't do anything else anymore, do not give up. Because once you give up, you lose so many different opportunities. He gave a story about how Hurricane Harvey happened in Houston, right? And he had some friends that had a granite company, and they couldn't get to the granite company, and they were thinking that, okay, we're just going to shut down. He said, no, don't shut down. You'll find different avenues. So there's going to be some way out there for you, unless you physically cannot open up your business. There's no money left in your bank account. There's nothing left. At some point, obviously, you do have to be smart about it. Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Absolutely.
But that fighting spirit is what's going to keep it through. Fighting spirit of entrepreneurs, fighting spirit of business owners is what make this country great. It's why we have so many big businesses. I don't know a company off the top of my head, but they were so close to going bankrupt for so many years, and now they're $1 billion company.
Wow.
Most companies go this way, that no one starts off making millions and billions of dollars. Every success story is, you should look at the first 10 years. That no one's a day and night company.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the first 10 years that go into it. So if you can survive this battle, which is said to be to this date the worst battle that Americans have had to face economically,
right,
you can get through anything, man.
Thank you, man. Like I said, I really appreciate the vote of confidence and you taking the time to talk to business owners. I've seen your previous posts and videos, and really nice to see people out there that understand what business owners are going through, and just kind of in general what Americans are going through, and how to kind of maybe help put everybody together on the same page and move forward. So I do appreciate your time and kind of helping me navigate these rough waters, because without knowledgeable people and connections, like through you and other individuals, there's no way we can do this alone. So I'm truly grateful.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to get that set up for you, and I hope to see Ethnic Kitchen in the future, man. And I do see it happening in the future. I believe in you. You seem like a very strong gentleman, and thank you for speaking with us today.
Thanks, brother, man. I appreciate it. You stay safe out there.
See ya.